What's up, crafty friends? Creative Juice by Lonnie, your creative coach here on the first Monday of July 2026. Ready to do a little stamping with you, and my job as your creative coach is to help you feel very confident about creating with paper, ink, and rubber stamps. So that's what we're going to do today, and since it's summer, we're going to make it simple. Many times people ask me, how come my cards don't look like your cards? Well, there are a few design principles that you might need to know. Today we're going to talk about one of those design principles called, I'm calling it color, layer, and cluster. Let's start. Let's get going. If I can get it to change over to my picture in picture. There we go. We are ready to do it today. We're going to start with hello, Elaine. We'll say hello to those of you who are coming in. Say hi. I love to see who is joining me and meet new people and some wonderful familiar faces like Elaine, who is one of my sprinkled inkers. Today, let's start with the very simplest of items. I have a card base, which is 8.5 by 5.5, scored in half at 4 1/4. So we have that's our card base, and I'm using beautiful basic white cardstock from Stampin' Up, which is so smooth and beautiful to stamp on. Then I have a layer. You can do whatever size layer you would like. You could even do a different color, but I'm going to use white to show you the first ones. We'll be making 3 cards today very quickly. Hopefully this will help you to understand the principle of coloring, color, layer, and cluster. We're also using today, and I had this little thing on here somewhere. Well, now I don't know what I've done with it, but it has, well, here it is, the ephemera packs that we're going to use. Ephemera is a fun word to say, and it basically means just little details that are already done for you. I'm trying to think of details is really the word I can talk about, but these are die cut images or sentiments. And what we're using, this one is called Under the Sun. They're in the package. They have 2 of each of these cards. And one of the new things about our ephemera is that they are hard cardboard, I should say, not cardboard, cardstock stickers. So now they come as stickers, some of them. This one is one of them. So this one is called Under the Sun. This is a different package that just has sentiments. And this one is called Sincerely Noted, but it has the same color scheme. So how handy is that for making it coordinate with each other? So you don't even, this one has no stamping. This card today is going to have no stamping, but we are going to use a little bit of ink. I'm going to use a Lost Lagoon ink pad and a regular blending brush. So we have our color. This is going to be the color that we're going to use. When you are blending, you may want, let me grab I put a little piece of paper underneath here. I should have left it out. You're going to usually we stamp in the center of this ink pad, so just rub your blending brush around the outside and then rub it onto something else first. This will help in case you stick it down and have a big bruise. You don't want to have a big bruise wherever you're putting your cluster. So I'm going to start maybe over to the right a little bit and create a colorful background. This kind of gives it a, what's the word I'm looking for? It gives it a ground. It gives it a place to kind of ground itself. So I've got this beautiful Lost Lagoon background. I decided because it was summer, we're going to use this cute little bus. All right, came off. Now, let's say that I wanted to pop this up. Instead of putting this directly onto my paper, I may want to pop it up. And I can see, as I hold this over here, it's difficult to see any of my colors. So we're just going to add a little bit more, make it a little bit bigger. give that little colored background the grounding spot. Okay, if I wanted to pop this up and I don't want it to be sticky, because this is sticky, you can use your, what is this called? My words are failing me on a Monday. This is from our embossing. This is our embossing buddy that comes in the embossing packet, my embossing essentials pack, and you just pat it on the back of this, and it removes all the sticky. And then you'll want to kind of dust it off. I just put it on my pants. Dust it off. And we're going to use some dimensionals to adhere it to my card. Because I want it to have a little bit of lift, a little bit of dimension, which is why we call it dimensionals. So we're going to put our bus down, our party bus. I'm also going to use this little camera piece. They are split. It is split on the back of each of these things so that you can easily take off the edges. So there you go. That's what's happening, and it sounds like I'm going to have. All right, we're putting this on here like so. This piece I'm leaving sticky. This piece we'll put right over here. There we go. Now let's add. So we're clustering all of these little items together in the corner. Let's do some clouds and a sunshine. Okay, so we've got it split on the back, making it easy to get the adhesive off. I think I'm going to use a little smaller cloud to put with my sunshine. There we go. So my sunshine I just put directly on there. And my cloud, I'll probably do the same thing. Get both sides off. Okay, so we've got our cluster. We've got our color. We've got our cluster. Now we can put that layer right on top of here. The layer, even though it is the same color, white on white, it gives it a frame. And sometimes that frame just elevates your card a little bit to make it look like, instead of just flat on one piece of paper, it just gives it a second layer, a second, maybe a little frame around what we're looking at here. So I'm putting it on dimensionals just so that it will stand up. You can see how cute this is looking already. I love it. Now all we need is a sentiment. So let's look at our sentiments. We've got, hey there, friend, for you, thanks, hip hip hooray, celebrate. I like this one, maybe we'll use this one. Wishing you were here. How about that? That would be cute. So that all of these are clustered together. So we'll get our sentiment on here. Perfect for if you were on vacation, you could send this to a friend or a child or your kids and say, we're having a great time. Wishing you were here. So there is our first cute little simple color, layer, and a cluster of things. Very simple. Okay, let's move to our next one. Again, very simple. We're not going to do anything that you can't do yourself. Dump out my garbage. This time I'm going to be using the Artisan Sketched Garden Designer Series paper. I think this is such a beautiful black and white design that you can color yourself. And of course it's two-sided, so there's the other side. This one I'm actually holding a class this Saturday in Southern Utah. If you're in Southern Utah, make sure that you register for the class, which is this Saturday at either 1 p.m. or 7 p.m. And register by Wednesday so that I can get your supplies cut and prepared. We'll be making 5 different projects, I believe. Yes, that's correct. 5 projects, and then you'll be taking home some of that beautiful paper. So what I've done here is I have done a little preparation. So I've got a black card base and I've already put in a white piece to color on, and I've carried the pattern that I'm going to use on the front into the inside as well. So we're going to layer our card first. So I've cut this one to 4 inches by 5 1/4, this piece of designer series paper. And you can see the back side of this has all these cute little vases, which is actually what we're going to use next. Then I took some dies. You could also just cut a circle or a square, whatever you would like. And I used the dies to cut out this little frame. I used two, I had them out, 2 square dies and just put them together to cut out this little frame out of the Stylish Shapes dies. And here they are. I knew they were here. You just put them together on your paper and cut them out at the same time. So I used those 2 largest ones to cut out my frame. That gives it kind of a focal frame, a focal area for your cluster that we're going to use here. Let's see, before I do that, I want to also do a little bit of coloring. So bringing back in my paper again, we're moving to a different color now. I'm going to use Pool Party, a little bit of Pool Party. So I'm just going to rub off some of the Lost Lagoon. This is one of my teal colored brushes. This is a teal colored brush, which is kind of blue. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to do a little bit of blue right here in the center. The cluster can be anywhere you want. So this is kind of towards the top center of this card. I've got a little background there. Let's put on some black dimensionals. Did you know we had black dimensionals? Makes it really nice for when you're making something that has a black background on it. So we'll do that with our frame, which I love having these little pieces to help it stand up. Kind of pops right off the page, making it come to life. Oh, okay, took the back off before it got onto the paper. That's okay, no problems. And I find these little hexagons all over my house, but that's the sign of a stamper right there. Okay, looks like I could have maybe got some of those a little better centered so they don't peek up over the top of it. It's all right. Okay, good. Close enough. Okay, it's going to be great. Now, I could put it on flat or I could put it on square to the card. I'm going to put it on this direction just for fun. We haven't done this kind for a while. So there we go. We've got our little frame. I've already cut and colored one of the little vases that were on the back of the same design of the paper. I colored, and I'll show you how I did that with the second one. But we're going to put this one on. There we go. We're going to cluster a couple of vases together. So let's color this one. I'm going to use my dark Pool Party. I used the light one for this water, but this one we're going to use my dark Pool Party Stampin' Blends marker. Color the water. Even though water is usually clear, just gives it a little extra color. We use a daffodil color to color these flowers. And this one is Granny Apple Green. Why not? For some of the leaves. And this is, there's so many fun coloring techniques. Again, we'll be learning some coloring techniques with this paper on Saturday. You'll find 5 different ways. You'll learn 5 different ways to color, including using your Stampin' Blends. So here we go. We're going to cut. Now, one of the things about fussy cutting is that you really want to keep your scissors kind of still. Not completely still. But you can see I'm going to be moving my paper rather than my scissors. Because then you can kind of just slowly close. As you close the scissors, you just turn your paper, and then you can very quickly fussy cut around the images that you need. I don't mind fussy cutting. It's actually quite relaxing for me. I don't mind it at all. So we're going to just quickly cut out our vase. Now, some people like dies or punches better. I like all of the above. I don't mind any of them. How about you? What do you prefer? Do you mind fussy cutting? Do you like to take a moment to color, or do you prefer things already colored? Coloring is proven to lower your blood pressure. I know I've told you that before, but maybe you're new and haven't heard. Okay, so we have two little vases. I'm going to put this one right next to it, and I can see as I'm holding this where I need to put my dimensionals. Use the black ones again. So I can put one right here and one right here. I'll put them down here, then they'll be ready to go. I can put a little bit of regular adhesive on this side to kind of stick to the front of the other vase. Move the garbage off to the side. Okay, so you can see, there you go. I'm just going to add a sentiment. This sentiment is from the Greetings for All ephemera. I should move this over, sorry. It says, "Oh, happy day." And you could color in these letters if you would like to, because it makes it really simple when the background is black. But we're just going to put them in just like that. I think I'm going to come down here. There we go. Oh, happy day. So there's our little cluster. We have a little peak of color coming through. And then we have our layer. Very simple, but awfully effective. Pretty, don't you think? There's card number 2. On to the last card, and then we'll bring them all out and show you all together. Pardon me while I clean up my mess. Okay. 1, 2, let's do our last one. This last one I wanted to use the beautiful Violet Dreams suite, which is a brand new suite that has just been released this in July. Here's the paper. This is beautiful. So if you're a purple lover, you're going to love the purple. The colors are Darling Duckling, Fresh Freesia, Gorgeous Grape, Hydrangea Hue, Peaceful Pine, and this Secret Sea that looks almost black. This one, actually, no matter where you are at, you could join me in a virtual class that I will send to you. If you order this suite online from my Stampin' Store, then you get a free class, a free virtual class when you order the entire suite, which includes the paper, the stamp set, and the dies. So here's the framed violets stamp set, and there are the dies. This is a fun scalloped oval to be able to use with that. And it also includes the paper, the stamps, the dies, this beautiful Fresh Freesia satin ribbon, and these gorgeous gems that we're going to use in just a moment that are shaped like flowers and sparkly. One of the pieces of this paper, which right here, this one shows just that there are some die cuts. Let me show you the sheet of die cuts that we're going to use to make it super, super easy today for summer stamping. This is, if you can see part of it, I'm going to shut my ink pads so I don't put my paper in those. Good idea. So it has some frames. It has some that you can color in, some that are already colored, and these are all perforated, ready to go, pop out. In fact, we're going to pop this one out right here. This Hydrangea Hue one. And I'm going to also pop out a couple of these little tiny pieces. There's some teeny tiny blossoms right here. We're going to punch a few of those out too, just to give us a little extra fun. And do I want anything else? I don't know. If we do, we'll come back and get it. Oh yes, I do. I want this frame right here. So I'm going to take this frame. This is going to be kind of our focal point. And this one I'm going to count as my color. I don't know if I'm going to use the center, but we'll find out as we use it. Okay, so I've got my little pieces all popped out. Here's my fresh freesia cardstock that I've now cut 11 inches by 4 1/4. We'll fold it in half and put our layer on it. I'm going to use this very busy layer, I think. Let's see, what's the other side? I could use the other side, but then I'm going to lose the frame. I could use also the other polka dots. Let's see. Do I like that one? What do you think? You guys can help me decide. Or we could just use these dark polka dots. Put that on there like this. That might be really striking, actually. I like that too. Oh, I hate to make a decision because I'm going to put those in there. I think that's what I'm going to do. We're going to cut this one. Let's cut it down to 4 inches by 5 1/4. Sometimes you just have to play around with it until you decide that that's the look that you want. I was going to use the busy pattern, but I think I really do like this less busy pattern on the back. Okay. And it's a crafter's prerogative to change their mind, right? This is Secret Sea. It's a very deep navy, almost black. Okay, let's make sure I get enough of my adhesive on here to make my layer. My color has already been done for me in the form of the frame. We're going to use that lovely little frame right here. And we'll pop it up on some dimensionals to make it easy and give it some dimension. Then I'm going to just tuck that right in here like this. So really, it could not be any easier, seriously. Put a little dimension or a little adhesive where it's going to touch the frame. Stick it in like that. We'll add a few of these little pieces. Now, these little tiny pieces are going to be easier. The easiest way to do that is to put them on with a mini glue dot. The right adhesive makes the job so much easier. Let's see, I'm just going to kind of, and these will just give it an additional little bit of dimension as well. Okay, so I always touch my paper to the glue dot. Yeah, I like that. I like that. And then peel the glue dot off and you're ready to go. Okay, so you've got our cute little thing, our little flowers here. You know, when you cut your card stock down to have a layer, you always have like maybe a 1/2 inch strip or a 3/4 inch strip. Save those strips because they are wonderful for sentiments. So I could use the words that come from this. So you can use the same sentiments, but you don't have to be stuck with just using the same sentiment that is in there. So this one I was going to use daughter, but I think I'm going to actually use the same. I was thinking I would use a word from this, daughter, but I think I'm going to actually go ahead and use the take care or I appreciate you from our violet dream, what is this called? Framed Violets stamp set. You never locked into one thing, right? We can do whatever we want. This one's going to say take care. Okay, here's our 1/2 inch strip, which makes it so easy. Okay, and hopefully you can stamp straight. Looking through. There we go. I think that's much better. Okay, so you can make a little a flag on the end if you want to, or you can just cut it off like this. If you wanted to put it on from this side, take care. Or if I want to put it on this side, I could stick it underneath that. Or I could stick it right behind here if it was just slightly smaller. I always like to have it kind of just coming out, but we're going to do it right there, and then we'll add one little final embellishment with our pretty flowers right here. There we go. Simple, easy. Our cluster was already made for us. Our color is already there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right, let's just check to see how all of our color, layer, cluster cards look together. Clean up. All right, we have 1, 2, and 3. See if we can get them all on there today. So there is our 3 cards. Wishing you were here. You've got the color in the background, you've got a layer, and you've got a cluster. Same thing here, layer, color, cluster. Thanks, Elaine. I'm glad that you liked all these cards. She says she liked them all. Oh, hello. See if I can. There we go. You're welcome. Glad you liked them all. So those are it's just a simple way of making sure that you know how to put a card together that has a little bit of a frame, a little bit of color. Oh, thank you, Anne. I'm glad that you enjoy them. It's a new face here, and we're happy to have you. I'm glad that you enjoyed that little design tip for today, because that will help you put all of your cards together, some easy summer cards together, I should say. Remember that little tip, and I'd love to see what you make. So if you are a member of my VIP group, you can post in the Creative Juice Crafters Corner, or leave a comment with a picture of something that you make with this same design principle in the comments of this video. I'd love to see it. Thank you so much for joining me. I will be back in August, the first Monday in August, to share some more stamping with you. Of course, all throughout the month, you'll be seeing some reels and photos and ideas. If you're getting my newsletter, you'll also receive 2 great tutorials throughout the month. So make sure you're doing that as well. We'll talk to you soon. You can shop for all of these items at creativejuicebylani.com and click on Shop 24/7. Go to my Stampin' Store. Thank you so much. Happy summer.